How we doing, folks? Doing yeah, baby. How you doing, folks? Hello, how you doing? This is the Doug Rice Show. I am live back on the air at an undisclosed location somewhere out there, and I welcome my family, my fellow Negroes. You know who I'm talking about. Yes, I mean those. Hey, folks. Welcome to the Doug Rice Show. Thanks so much for showing up. 2 o'clock in the afternoon Pacific time. think about 5 in the afternoon on the East Coast. Some of you guys getting off work. I am now free. Let me tell you, because they sure told me. Now, today, that was me up in the corner. I was a man that did some walking, and they were folks that did some talking. Let me tell you, you cannot, as an awakening Negro, expect to go here to and fro without some sort of conflagration happening amongst our nation. You can't move silently amongst them anymore, knowing what you know. I don't think it's impossible, and I believe they said so. So I was let go today. I don't feel bad about it because I really can't get mad about it. You push a button, you get buttons pushed, and they pushed mine, and I pushed back, and they said bye, and well, that's that. But now I am free to go about the countryside talking all of the talk I talk, walking the walk I walk, without having to apparently codify those that surround me. Folks, let me tell you what an experience. What an experience amongst these heathens. And I say that without any cut. Boy, let me just tell you what. Any interaction you might have as a set apart individual amongst these individuals certainly exposes or brings out from within them the most hedonistic, foul kind of talk you can imagine. And as you try to traverse through the workplace, trying to stay above the fray, let me tell you, you got to hear all the things that they say and say they do until you hear that they're talking about you. And I told you how they let the N-word fly. Did it right behind and beside my eye. And when I call that to account, well, there was very little amount that could be done to do what was done and not undone today. Yes, folks, they sent me on my way. And I did not shed a tear. I did not even bat an eye. I got up out my chair and I said, bye-bye. You can't be an awakening Negro in the presence of these heathens. Any of you that have followed what I've done over the last 4 or 5 years on my show, on the show that is the Doug Rice Show, I didn't just talk a bunch of smack. I bought receipts. I brought the PDFs. I read them as well as I could. And I thought the show was pretty good. So I'm going to get back at it. I think I'm going to do it again. And I'm not going to quit until someone says when. I mean, that could be anyone. I don't know. Bottom line is, folks, there's too much out there now. You wear it fully exposed. And the worst thing in the world for them is a Negro who knows. I will tell you that. I found that out in the most eloquent of manners, how they truly fly their white power banners. Yes, sir. So, they're all on code, in a closed abode. They get their wish in that petri dish. And so I was dismissed. And think of this. Now I'm free to say all the things I've been held back to say, and I can hopefully say these things there every day. I don't know. I'll have to do something. We'll think of something. Today, though, I come to you, and thanks for tuning in, all of you who have decided to show yourselves here. I want to clarify a few things, I think, as you draw near. I am not a ministry. I have never claimed to be a ministry. I've never dealt in ministry service online. That's something that's never even crossed my mind. I've not been so bold as to think I'm the one who should be the one told. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not the guy. Of course, I use profanity once in a while, and I stick that in your eye. Okay? So this is the Doug Rice Show. I'm bouncing off the show that we had with Sister E. A few of the folks I'm sure you did see. It was a lively conversation, as I tend to bring life to conversations. And it ended, supposedly poorly, and I want to apologize to Sister E implorably. I want to express to her that I understand that my tenor and my vibrato might cause a few just to decide to go. That's because I do say it without cut and everything else, and just, well, you know what. All right, so here's the deal. Today I'm going to share with you exactly how I feel regarding this return to Africa, the Back to Africa movement. I think we're going to need a little bit of improvement. I'm hearing the stories of folks going back, and I'm hearing this, and I'm hearing that, and I'm hearing all the things to and fro, and now there's a few things I think you should know. Let's get to it first. I think it's imperative that we understand what the Back to Africa movement is. I think it's important. In this respect, we're going to go to trusted Wikipedia. Now, Wikipedia has defined the Back to African movement in their minds as thus. The Back to Africa movement was a political movement in the 19th and 20th centuries advocating for a return of the descendants of African American enslaved to the African continent. Let me pause. I'm not talking about diaspora for the cause. I'm just talking about the Back to Africa movement as it's defined by Wikipedia. That is all. So please, if you would, don't take this, don't take this too personally. It's just another variant of an opinion. All right, so as we said, the movement originated from a widespread belief among some European Americans in the 18th and 19th century United States that African Americans would want to return to the continent of Africa. In general, the political movement was an overwhelming failure. Shall I read that again? In general, it was a failure. I mean, that says a lot. Very few former slaves wanted to move to Africa. Well, that is called the Stockholm Syndrome. We know this. Very few will want to move when the time comes to move. The small number of freed slaves who did settle in Africa, some under duress, initially faced brutal conditions due to diseases to which they no longer had biological resistance. You understand the damage that was done by their insistence. As the failure became known in the United States in the 1820s, it spawned and energized the radical abolitionist movement. In the 20th century, the Jamaican political activist and black nationalist Marcus Garvey, members of the Rastafari movement, and other African Americans supported the concept, but few actually left the United States. So as we pause just for the cause there, let's dissect that. Let's unpack that a little bit. Okay, first things first, they called it a failure, just to quench your thirst. I'm not saying leaving now connotates failure somehow. I am not saying that. What I'm saying is if you can go, but go under the conditions that are best for you to go, and the conditions that I go may not allow me to do so. And I'll share that with you as we move through the show. But it opens this Wikipedia pronouncement, and it says it in such finality. It was an overwhelming failure. And why? Very few former slaves wanted to move to Africa. Well, let me tell you about the slave mentality that those descendants carry with them today. I mean, there's not too much more I need to say regarding that Stockholm Syndrome that's brought home. Well known. We won't roam. We won't go. And it's not just because I said so. You know, all of us know the inherent fear that we have from leaving here. We know that there is just as little or as much safety behind the walls of the United States as it would be behind the walls of any other country. And so it doesn't surprise me that few wanted to move. It surprises me less that few want to leave today. But I'll tell you one thing, you listen to what I say. When the time comes for those given that opportunity to leave, I'm going to tell you so many are going to stay, you're going to not even believe. We got to get out of here. Negroes, if you don't know one thing in your life, know this day, we have to leave this place. This place is not good for our mental health. It's not good for our spiritual wealth. It's not good for Negroes in general. And you know, I've always fallen back on origins. How did we get here? What were the circumstances of our arriving on the shores of the United States of America? How did you end up where you are as a Negro listening to me today here in the United States amongst these United Snakes and hissing they're doing? Well, let me tell you. You were bought and sold and bartered and told what to do, what to say, how to live, how to pray. And you were beaten nearly every goddamn day. And I'm not going to even talk about the castrations and the lynchings and the murderings and the cinchings of our necks and trees, if you please. No, it's beyond that now. It's the memory they wish to erase that they ever did it. And that our God cannot abide, not without a reckoning meeting their eye. And that's what's running them scared today, folks. You listen to hear and see what I say, folks. This sun seems fragmenting them. It seems energizing them into oblivion. And they want to do things now. Wow. They want to blow it all up right now. They are itching to push the button. And so many of us, such in a rush to leave, kind of ascertain and perceive it might be time to go. Well, I gotta tell you so. Listen, before you leave, take some notes. Just see what a few of these other folks wrote. So in the late 18th century, thousands of black loyalists joined British military forces during the American Revolutionary War. 1787, the British Crown founded a settlement in Sierra Leone, which was called the Province of Freedom, beginning a long process of settlement of formerly enslaved African Americans in Sierra Leone. During these same years, some African Americans launched their own initiative to return to Africa, and by 1811, Paul Coffey, a wealthy New England African American Native American shipper, had transported some Americans, members of the groups known as the Free African Society, to Liberia. During these years, some free African Americans also relocated to Haiti. Well, we see how that's ended. Where a slave revolution had affected a free black state by 1800. On 18 November 1803, Haiti became the first nation ever to successfully gain independence through a slave revolt, and they've been paying for it through the nose ever since. In the following years, Liberia was founded by free Africans from the United States. The immigration of African Americans, both free and recently emancipated, was funded and organized by the American Colonization Society. I need you to understand the ramifications of the name of that society. They don't want you here. Which hoped that slavery could be ended as an institution without releasing millions of former slaves into American society, instead sending them back where you purchased them from. The mortality rate of these settlers was high, and 4,571 immigrants who arrived in Liberia between 1820 and 1843, only 1,119 of them survived. So, what are we talking about here? You want to go back? I want to go back. I would go back right now from where I stand and make a stand on my own damn land. But we'll get to that. So, what are the experiences of some of the folks that have gone back? you know. I've looked at several different scenarios that have yielded different results. Interesting stuff, actually. I got to tell you, there's a lot of scamming going on in Africa. There's a lot of scamming going on everywhere. I understand that, okay? But the cry to have us come back is being heard. It is being heard. And if you don't believe me, well, let me bring you some receipts. Ghana to Black Americans, come home. We'll help you build a life here. Ghana invites us to the motherland. Isn't that nice of them? I want you to see that. Now, I don't know about you. It looks all right, I guess. I'll take it. Well, okay, it'll do. So here we got Kimberly Reese has never visited Ghana, but she is already designing her dream home here. The Ohio mother of 5 says she doesn't feel safe in the United States. She doesn't feel safe in the United States. And why should she? She's not safe. Her children are not safe. Her family is not safe. But let's continue. Some of us are tired, Reese said. Some of us just want to be back in an environment where we don't have to look over our shoulders, where we don't have to worry about our sons getting pulled over. Well, hold it now. She'd rather focus on the floor plan some 6,000 miles away. As the United States again confronts its history of racism and as outrage again erupts over police killings, leaders in Ghana say they're rolling out the welcome mat for Black Americans who want to get away from the turmoil. What? Well, thank you. Thanks so much. The government has negotiated with local chiefs to earmark 500 acres. 500 whole acres? Well, I'll be. 500 acres of land near the nation's center for newcomers, carving out enough space for about 1,500 families. Well, I'll be damned. Isn't that nice of them? Thank you, ma'am. Survey and registration fees are waived for the members of the African diaspora. Well, look, folks, let me get in there real quick. Okay, first and foremost, don't we have property over in that continent somewhere? So you have earmarked for us 500 acres near your nation's center for newcomers like us. We're not newcomers, damn it. We're returners. Newcomers were the Europeans you invited to buy us in the first. What? Okay, let me slow down. Look here, man. See, there's a problem with this whole plan. I don't like how this is looking. I don't like how this is shaking out, man. Look, what kind of deals we got to make with these folks? Listen. I know that Hamites are in the Hebrew family. Let's just stop. I'm aware of that. Relax. Okay? I don't give a damn. As I said on the panel at Sister E's, I'll say it again, please. I'm not trusting a single one of you for as long as I can see you in my sights. And until the kingdom arrives to save all our lives, I don't believe they can do right. Y'all need to hear me. I understand the government has negotiated with local chiefs to earmark 500 acres. But what if they get sick and tired of Negroes moving a little too close? What's going to protect us on those 500 acres with millions of individuals that surround us deciding on a whim one day to simply end us because they don't like what we say? No. I got a whole nother way I'm going to approach this. You want to go back? Well, there are going to be some conditions, and you just think of that. So, we got a guy, he's offering to, he's reaching out to chiefs, right? He's reaching out to the chiefs, and the call for us to leave is just everywhere. It's everywhere it's everywhere you don't want to be except in the US of A. You listen to me. This is for me. It's not something that you're not gonna see. It's everywhere. Look at this one. Why African Americans are flocking to Ghana. Why are they flocking to Ghana? Tony Safir Ankoma originally hails from Mississippi. What? He originally hails from Mississippi, but he decided 10 years ago to move abroad. I had this strong urge to come back to Africa. I wanted to experience something to be tugging at my heart to come and visit the motherland. I hear you. You keep visiting there. I'm feeling that. Now, visitation, visitation. I'm not, hey, visit, tourism, enjoy yourself, spend the dollars, you know. But there are other experiences that folks are having over there. There are folks that are getting ripped off, getting murdered in the homes that they are building. And still they hold out the hope. They hold out the hope that maybe, just maybe, why the Back to Africa movement failed 3 times, what Ghana's 2019 year of return can learn from it. And this was almost 5 years ago. It says here the desire to return to Africa has been recurring in the social and political immigration of African American and other descendants of former slaves who were uprooted from the continent during the transatlantic slave trade. Wait, nobody uprooted us. We were sold. Y'all still got the receipts. I mean, we were uprooted. Yes, we were physically just physically manhandled out of our land and out of our resources, and we just somehow gave it up. And it was no, folks. There's a lot more to the story. See, and the details are quite gory. Listen, let me just go ahead and offer what I'm talking about. All right, because this is, for me, this is almost running around in circles. You want to go back to Africa? I want to go back too. I do. When I hear about them making deals, when I hear about them, spinning wheels, when I hear about, state seals, I don't know, man. Listen, can't we do this just the right way? There's a plot of land, tens of millions of acres across and wide, that has the name Negro on it. I'll say it again. They know where all of the details and the borders and the outlines, all of it is, because they were congruent in our exodus. They were culpable in our being removed from lands that were assigned to us by God Almighty, and they know where we belong. And so, you want to go back? I want to go back. Let's go back. But I'm not going to just keep singing the same old song. We ain't going to just go back and start shaking hands to obtain our very own lands. No! First, tell the truth. Where is our property? That's one. Okay, now that you've told the truth, stage 2 is very simple for you to do. Get the hell off our property. Leave everything you have built. Don't take a blade of grass. Remove yourselves, your people, your essence, your environment, and please be gone at last. And while you're at it, infuse several $1 trillion of resources into the restoration of our Negro property. And after that, I'd like you to give us about 50 goddamned years of leaving us what I call the hell alone. All the way. We don't want to hear a peep from any of you, because all of you are complicit. Now, y'all ain't going to do that. The world is not going to just give it up, but they know it's there. That's why we know the kingdom is drawing near. But if you want to go back, I want to go back too. I mean, I'm going back. If there's an option to go back at this point, I have some free time. And while you tuned into my show and I appreciate it and you've listened to my rhyme, I definitely will take the first plane, the first boat. Tell me where to go, and that's all she wrote. But once I get there, now I hope you Negroes hear me. I'm not coming back with a hat in my hand, and I'm not coming back with a thank you, man. I'm coming back with a get the hell off our land. And we ain't got to be polite about it either. I don't know where y'all coming from. You want to shake hands, sign documents? Get your asses on. Don't even look back. And everything you have in your pockets, you leave it right there, just like that. I'm sure your folks will find a place for you. They sure as hell found ours. I don't give a damn where you go. You can stay on this planet or go to Mars. You hear me? So no, there's a condition. I'm going back. I'm not, you want to go back. It's just going to start whatever needs to be started to get this departed. I'm not coming there to negotiate. What are you talking about, man? That's far too late. Are you serious? How we got here is not mysterious. We got here by way of being bartered and sold. And there's a lot more of this story to be told. So there it is, folks. Everybody talking about they want to return. Sure. But, under whose flag do you wish to return? Do you want to be a Nigerian, displaced American? Do you want to be a Ghanaian, displaced American, Malian? I'm sure they'll take your skills, your wealth. They'll take your desire to better yourselves. They'll take all of that to infuse it in the country they made as they parlayed over ours. Do you understand the significance of what I'm saying? This is not a game. Every treaty that they signed, they learned how to write from the people that they certainly called white. And they sold us to those folks, So you ready to just sign on their dotted line? Have you lost your goddamned mind? Look at the fine print, and you may find there's a lot of crap you might have to unwind. All right, folks, so there's that. There's where I think. I want to go back on the conditions. Condition is, okay, I step two, now I get two. I step two, I'm down, I've touched down, now it's time to get down. You know what I mean? It's not, it's a negotiation. Y'all know where everything's at. Carve out whatever parcel of land, put us in the center of it, leave every damn thing you ever built on that property, and then get further and smell better. That's what you can do for Negroes. Now, I don't think they're going to do that, which is the reason the Most High God is coming to enforce that very thing. Everybody's going to return to their own land, us included. All right, so there's that. Welcome to the Doug Rice Show. We do Negro news as the second half. We give you a reason, at least find out why you should be leaving. This is how I do the show. I've looked up some tidbits. I'm going to read them, then I'll go. I'm certain everybody has had their sides hurting from this beautiful compliment. The beach blonde, bad built butch body wasn't brilliant. It was part of a clown show. Now, let's understand, folks, this was somebody's commentary. And more likely, it came from someone not a Negro friendly. Anita Shabria, I don't know. Maybe she's not Negro friendly and a Negro. It happens. So I watched this back and forth. I did. It was colorful. It wasn't really mentioned that Marjorie started talking about personal appearance, starting with her eyelashes. And so she gave as good as she got. And she called her, again, a bleach blonde, bad built butch body to her face, which is pretty good. It was good. I liked it. It was good. It was awesome. She got one. But here's the thing. She up there with them folks, okay? I got her hair just flowing. Flow on, sister. Right. I don't mind. Do you, girl? But if you get some abuse, if they get racial up there on you, look here now, you keep that same energy right there. You hear me? Because it's gonna get a lot worse. Okay, that perm gonna get out that hair. I'm sure of it. You gonna be Angela Davis by the time. All right, I'm done with that one. Next. All right, what do we got next? That was a letter to the editor. This is interesting. Opinion facts, Black history facts that no one wants you to know. Uh, George Carver, brilliant scientist, unlike the story goes, did not invent peanut butter. He invented hundreds of uses for peanuts and revolutionized agricultural practices across the United States. And they don't teach children about positive Negroes. And it shows in the attitude that so many have against us. It's an interesting dichotomy. Sarah Boone, Black woman invented the ironing board. Well, he gave her credit for that domiciliac activity. Phyllis Wheatley was the first African American to publish and write a poetry book. Well, isn't that nice? I've seen that before. That's very nice, like that. Katherine Johnson from Hidden Figures. They put them up into space. Isn't it odd how the photo almost eliminates the black from their face? I thought I'd try that. What else? Carter G. Woodson. The impetus for Black History Month was Black History Week, so they extended it a month. Good job there, Woodson. All right, I thought that was interesting, and just continuing. This is interesting. What blatant racism Mike Johnson slammed for denying Kenyan President William Ruto the opportunity to address joint meeting of Congress. What did you think this white nationalist, Christian nationalist was going to do? This guy is a white Christian nationalist. You see this one right here? Look at that face. He believes that God favors the white race. That's what this man thinks. This one, he's on point most times, I think so. But this one, he won't let him speak. Of course, he's in the second term he seeks. I'm just joking. But, hey, he stood by him, though. That's funny. I like that. Next, Black Americans, Asian Americans, Mexican Americans, and white Americans when benevolence goes wrong. So this is a very interesting article. It requires quite a bit. I was determined that I will put this one in chat, as I very rarely check out chat. But that one, I think you guys should read that. It's a little too long, but that's very interesting. 6 things white people say that show their privilege. 6 things that white people say that show their privilege. I don't even know if I'm interested in knowing what they were. I was gonna show if this had any impact, but it does, doesn't it? Look at these. Look at the. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, this is it, boy. This is almost it. It's a privilege. Racial. I don't see color. There they are over there. So it takes the actions of every privilege to call out racism. So I don't see color. That's while this statement may aim to show that you are not biased, psychologist Erlinger Turner points out that we all notice racial distinctions unless we are visually impaired. By choosing not to recognize someone's skin color, you are also disregarding the challenges and discrimination they have experienced due to their race. So that's the number 2 thing people say. Oh, goodness. I think they really go into it. And then number 3, there's no need to worry about the police if you're not doing anything illegal. There's no need to worry. Well, you know what? If are them the police right now? If them the police, you better worry about something if you ain't doing nothing illegal. And most of them police look like that right now. But stop the nonsense. What you talking about? Let's see what number 4 is. I don't want to post about racism on social media because I'm scared of the backlash. I've been doing it for fucking 4 or 5 years. Backlash be damned. That's just a coward's way. You're scared to confront. That's the reason it exists. Let's see. Whoop. That was 5 right there. I don't see color. I hate that one. I'm not sure when I should start talking to my kids about racism. Wow. You got to shelter those children. That is an interesting article. I don't think I like that too much. What is this? Hollywood blasted for lionizing the Foundation Fathers, a hit movie making only white characters evil. Can we pause right there? Wait. Hollywood is blasted for lionizing the Founding Fathers as a hit movie because it only makes white characters evil. How many movies have they made in Hollywood where the black characters are just conditionally evil all the time? And to kind of a compound on that thought, how many movies have you not seen where ultimately the ultimate bad guy at the top of the pyramid is a white guy? I don't know. All the James Bond movies. Moving on, almost done, folks, and I'm out of here. Don't worry, I know it at it. The problem with telling black children they have to be twice as good as white folks is that they can't be twice as good as white folks because white folks will never permit that. Shit, they can't even be on a one-on-one basis with white folks because, well, they can't live with that either. It says you, Dad, raised Rodney and I to believe we had to be 2 times better than white people just to get the same as them. I understand why you said this. And now it came from a place of love, but Mama, that set us up to believe it's okay for me to get half as much as I am worth. How? How did that teach you to get half as much as you're worth? I don't understand that. Some reverse dichotomy in your mind? Are you kidding me? I'm not even going to read that one, and my voice is going, so that'll be done there. First black female pilot in the United States makes her final flight. As I said, folks, they get an oppo at the beginning of their career, and they get an oppo at the end of their career. She's not getting a free car, a $50,000 bonus check. She didn't get anything when she became the first black pilot woman in the United States. So she got nothing then. She gets nothing now, and somehow she's satisfied with that somehow. I don't get that. That's okay. Things get salty on The View when Charlemagne the God refuses to endorse Joe Biden. First, things get desperate for the Joe Biden administration if they need the endorsement of Charlemagne the God. Maybe you don't find that odd. I do. Moving on. First black Filipino woman crowned Miss Universe Philippines. What does that mean? Miss Universe Philippines. Is she Miss Universe? I hope so, but okay. She looked good too. I think I saw it here. Hold on. Wow, is this what they did? So the first black Miss Universe from the Philippines is crowned. And this is the copy. This is they want you to see that she's kind of black. Okay. Yeah. Oh wow. That's horrible. Moving on. Next, almost done. Walking while black. How many of you have suffered the adverse effects of walking while black? I, as a black man, am particularly attuned to this kind of condition, this ailment. It is an ailment that we cannot shake. Walking while black is the guff we got to take. And this is interesting, an interesting article. I think I'm just going to share that as well in chat because I am literally drained. It's just like that. That's an interesting deal. Walking while black. I have no idea because I didn't read ahead. But if I had read it, you'd have heard what I said. I got my last thing here and then I'm done. The fate of lawsuit filed by black teen punished over hairstyle in hands of federal judge. Folks, tell me something. Why are we on these people's minds like this? Why are they so concerned with Negroes' appearance? Haven't they learned we avoid their appearance? We're not a part of what they are. And this circumstance is one I close on. This circumstance, it really gets its throws on. I don't like this. I don't. Why a Negro should be able to wear his hair the fuck he wants to wear his hair. Just like white women wear their goddamned hair the fuck they want to wear their hair. How is there some disconnect between the two? Why do we have to go to the Supreme Court federal court over the punishment meted out over the hairstyle worn by a Negro. You want to know where we are? Well, we're right there, just so. I don't understand it, man. I don't understand. They are obsessed with us. One of the reasons for my demise, in my Negro eyes, is the obsession they have with our goddamned attitudes. It's amazing the power it exudes. And with that, folks, I will bid you adieu. I'm at the end of my show, and yeah, folks, I'm through. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you sharing. I appreciate you not minding all of my swearing, but that is something that I do, and I will do it until I am through. All right. Thanks so much, folks. Now, I did not give a bunch of give me nonsense, but if you were so inclined to save my black behind, hey, look down. Cash App is the one that worked first. Cash App is the one that works the best, but you're free as you might to try the rest. All right, folks, thanks so much. This is Doug Rice. I expect to be back tomorrow, perhaps at 2 o'clock. I want to do a show under an hour. I might go back to my 7 topics. I don't know yet, but this is the ABC. It's been an awakening Negro, not woke. I don't want to do woke anymore. I think that we are an awakening group of Negroes. And with that, I gotta go. So, thanks for tuning into the show. You guys have yourself a wonderful weekend. I'm not telling you to celebrate a good weekend. Shabbat shalom to the folks who observe Sabbath as I recommend all Negroes should. Do appreciate all of your support. Now I'm off to no good. All right, folks, thanks so much. Have a good one.